Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets of the business world. And today we're looking at New Concept Energy and a report that's a bit like a quick update on how things are going. So let's see if there's anything surprising in their latest filing. Before we dive in, if you like getting these deep dives into company reports, make sure you're subscribed and join our thriving community over on Discord. The link is in the description. Alright, so this is a Form 8K, a current report filed with the SEC. It's basically like a heads up for investors and the public about significant events that have happened with the company most of the time. These are really important things like major purchases or if the CEO suddenly leaves, but today's filing is a little different. It focuses on the company's recent performance results. This part tells us that New Concept Energy, also known as GBR, announced their operational results for the quarter that ended on June 30th, 2025. And they attached the announcement as an exhibit, which is like an appendix to the report. The most interesting part, the actual financial numbers usually come in this attached document, but the filing itself clearly states they are releasing these results on August 12th, 2025. So this is New Concept Energy, and they're incorporated in Nevada with a commission file number of 000008187 and an IRS employer identification number of 7523994477. We see their principal executive offices are located in Dallas, Texas, and their phone number and area code is 972-407-8400. All this information is pretty standard for these kinds of filings. It just identifies the company and where it's based. Now let's talk about what's traded publicly. This filing confirms their common stock with a par value of 0.01. Is traded under the symbol GBR on the NYC American Exchange. This is important because it tells us how investors can buy and sell their shares and on which major stock market. The company is also indicating here whether they consider themselves an emerging growth company. This is a classification that allows smaller companies to have some flexibility in how they report their financial information. They have checked the box indicating they are not using extended transition periods for new or revised financial accounting standards, which means they are keeping up with the latest accounting rules as they come out. Okay, so let's talk about the core of this report, which is the announcement of their financial results for the quarter ending June 30th, 2025. Unfortunately, the actual financial tables with the numbers like revenue, profit, and so on aren't directly in this particular document. It's just a notification that those results have been released and that they're available as an attachment. The key takeaway here is that on August 12th, 2025, New Concept Energy, or GBR, put out information about their performance for that last financial quarter. The document specifically mentions Exhibit 99.1, which is the press release dated August 12th, 2025, that contains the detailed financial results. Since this document is just the official notification of the results, we don't have the raw numbers right here in front of us, but we know they are published and available through that exhibit. And this report is signed by Gene S. Bercher, who is identified as the President and Chief Executive and Financial Officer, which means he's a top executive responsible for lots of important decisions and the company's financial health. The date of this filing itself, the signature date, is August 14th, 2025, which is just a couple of days after they announced their quarterly results. Now, what does this all mean for investors and people watching New Concept Energy? Well, without seeing the actual numbers in Exhibit 99.1, we can only talk about the fact that results were announced. This kind of filing is a routine part of keeping the market informed. Investors always want to know how companies are doing financially, especially after a quarter ends. Normally, we'd be digging into revenue growth, profit margins, earnings per share, and seeing if they beat expectations or if there were any surprises. For example, we'd want to compare these June 2025 results to the same period last year, say June 2020 VAR, results to the same period last year, say June 2020, and H1 expectations. Or if there were any surprises, for example, we'd want to compare these June 2025 results to the same period last year, say June 2024, to see if they're growing or shrinking. We'd also look at how their costs are managed and what their overall financial health looks like. Do they have a lot of debt or a strong cash position? Since we don't have those juicy financial details in this specific document, our analysis has to be about the process. Companies like New Concept Energy are required to be transparent about their performance. When they release these results, it's a signal to the market, and any significant good or bad news can move their stock price. The fact that the report is dated August 14 and the results were announced August 12th means they are following the rules for timely disclosure. For any investor considering GBR, the next step would be to find and read that Exhibit 99.1 press release to get the actual financial story. Looking at the market section for New Concept Energy, we see their common stock is listed on the NYSE American under the ticker symbol GBR. This tells us they are a publicly traded company, meaning their shares are available for anyone to buy and sell on a major exchange. Being on the NYSE American means they have met certain listing requirements and are subject to ongoing regulations, which generally adds a layer of credibility and transparency for investors. So the big picture here is that New Concept Energy has reported its quarterly financial performance. We know that they announced it on August 12, 2025, and this 8K filing serves as the official notification. While this specific document doesn't contain the detailed financial tables, it points us to where to find them in the attached press release. From a broader perspective, companies have to report their results to maintain investor confidence and comply with securities laws. If the results announced are positive, showing increased revenue or profit, it can lead to a higher stock price. If the results are disappointing, the stock price might fall. We can't judge New Concept Energy's performance without seeing those numbers, but this filing is the gateway to understanding their recent financial health. As for the company's direction, it's hard to say definitively without the financial data. Reports like this are essential for understanding the company's current operational status. We need to see if they are growing, shrinking, or staying flat. Key things to watch for in the actual financial results would be trends in their revenue, how much profit they're making, and how they are managing their expenses. Are they investing in new projects or cutting back? Are their revenues increasing year over year? These are the questions a deep dive into Exhibit 99.1 would answer. Risks for a company like this can usually stem from market conditions affecting their industry, regulatory changes, or their ability to execute their business strategy effectively. Opportunities might include expanding into new markets, developing innovative products, or capitalizing on favorable economic trends. Without more specific information on what New Concept Energy does, it's difficult to pinpoint exact risks and opportunities. But generally, companies in energy sectors face volatility due to commodity prices and environmental regulations. In conclusion, this filing is a formal announcement of financial results. The real story will be in the details of the press release. Investors should look for that document to assess the company's performance. It's a signal that it's time to pay attention to GBR's financial updates. What's your take on companies that announce results but don't put all the numbers in the main filing? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more easy to understand corporate finance insights. And don't forget to join our Discord for more discussions and to connect with other finance enthusiasts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.